Humanity has been issued a challenge, either an all-out invasion by the alien fleet or unarmed single combat by champion. While reading the rules, a lawyer noticed that it doesn't say that Earth's champion has to be a human, just a living resident of the planet. The holographic message flickered to life above the United Nations Assembly, casting an eerie blue glow across the faces of world leaders. The alien ambassador, a towering creature with obsidian skin and 6 arms, spoke in perfect, emotionless English. People of Earth, the galactic hegemony has deemed your species problematic. Your expansion into space violates 17 treaties you never signed. Your aggression threatens the established order. President Martinez leaned forward. We've been peaceful in every first contact. Silence. The alien's voice cut through the chamber like ice. You will face the trial of supremacy. Choose complete orbital bombardment of your world or single combat between champions. Your champion against ours. Winner takes all. The hologram dissolved, leaving humanity with an impossible choice. 3 days later, June Harry, Earth's best constitutional lawyer and, ironically, former MMA fighter, sat in the Pentagon war room studying the combat protocols transmitted by the aliens. It's insane, General Harrison muttered. Their champion is 8 feet tall, has 4 arms and can apparently crush steel with its bare hands. We send our best Olympic boxer and he'll be paced in 30 seconds. June's eyes remained fixed on the alien text. Wait, read this section again. She highlighted a paragraph. Each world may select 1 living resident as champion to represent their interests in ritual combat. Living resident, she repeated slowly, not human resident. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. You can't be serious, Doctor, Patricia Voss from the CDC said. What are you suggesting? June's smile was predatory. I'm suggesting we think bigger. What's the largest living resident of Earth? Technically, Dr. Voss consulted her tablet. A blue whale. But that's ridiculous. No, wait. Marine biologist Dr. James Wu interrupted, his eyes lighting up.
Not the largest by mass. The largest by biomass. The largest single living organism on Earth.
Understanding dawned across the room like sunrise. Pando, June whispered. The what? General Harrison demanded. Pando!
Dr. Wu explained excitedly. A clonal colony of aspen trees in Utah. Genetically, it's a single organism that covers over 100 acres and weighs 6,000 tons. It's been alive for possibly 80,000 years.
June was already pulling up satellite imagery. Can we mobilize it?
That's the beautiful part.
Dr. Wu grinned.
We don't need to. The combat takes place on neutral ground selected by the challenge party. That's us. We can pick the location.
General Harrison looked skeptical. How exactly does a forest fight hand-to-hand combat? Who said anything about hand-to-hand? June pointed to another clause. It says unarmed single combat. No artificial weapons. But Pando isn't artificial. It's completely natural. 3 weeks later, the alien fleet hung in orbit above Utah. Ambassador Vextar materialized alongside his champion, a nightmare creature called Destroyer of Worlds, its chitinous hide scarred from victories. The alien looked around the forest clearing with confusion.
Where is your champion, humans?
June stepped forward, flanked by Dr. Wu and a nervous-looking park ranger named Mike. You're looking at him. Meet Pando, Earth's champion. The alien's translator struggled with the concept.
This forest?
Single organism.
Dr. Wu explained cheerfully.
Largest living thing on the planet. Been a resident here longer than human civilization has existed.
Vextar's 4 eyes narrowed as his legal advisors frantically consulted their databases. After several minutes, he spoke with barely controlled rage.
This technically complies with the challenge parameters.
Excellent, June said. Shall we begin? The Destroyer of Worlds stepped into the clearing, its claws extending. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the forest began to move. It started subtly, roots shifting underfoot, branches swaying without wind. Then, more dramatically, the ground itself heaved as massive root systems responded to chemical signals that had been developing for weeks. Trees that had stood for decades began to lean inward, their canopy blocking out the sun. The alien champion stumbled as the earth beneath its feet buckled. Root tendrils thick as pythons erupted from the soil, wrapping around its legs. When it slashed them apart with its claws, more emerged. Always more.
This is impossible.
Vextar protested.
No single organism can coordinate across such distances.
You'd be surprised what 80,000 years of evolution can accomplish,
Dr. Wu replied, monitoring readings from sensors throughout the forest.
Pando's been sharing nutrients, water and chemical signals across its entire network for millennia. Right now, it's treating your champion like any other invasive pest.
The destroyer of worlds was sinking into the earth now, the soil itself seeming to liquefy around it. Branches reached down like grasping fingers, and the very air grew thick with defensive pheromones that made the alien champion's movements sluggish.
You cannot...
Vextar began. Single combat, June interrupted. One organism versus another. Your champion is fighting the entire forest because the entire forest is one individual, and Pando has been defending its territory since before your species learned to use tools. The alien champion let out a roar of frustration as it was slowly but inexorably pulled deeper into the earth, encased in a cocoon of roots and soil. Within minutes, only its head remained visible. Do you yield? June called out. The destroyer of worlds thrashed weakly, then fell still.
I yield.
Cheers erupted from the human observers, but June's celebration was cut short by Vextar's expression. The alien ambassador wasn't angry anymore. He was smiling.
Clever.
He admitted.
Very clever. You have won this challenge fairly.
He paused, his smile growing wider.
However, I should mention that the Trial of Supremacy has 17 levels. You have completed level 1.
The clearing fell silent except for the rustling of leaves.
Level 2,
Vextar continued,
involves your champion facing the hive mind of Proxima Centauri, a collective intelligence spanning 12 worlds.
June's blood ran cold. That's...
A single organism.
Vextar finished.
Technically, just like your forest.
As if summoned by his words, the sky began to darken as ships descended from orbit, not warships, but transport vessels. And from each one emerged something that made humanity realize they had just taught their enemies a very dangerous lesson about creative interpretation of rules. The real game was just beginning.